don't fault them for coming outside. I would never even think to say anything like that, especially knowing that you're being recorded and something that you have to know going out into the workforce and workplace and different companies that you want to be hired by. You got to know that you have to follow their rules. You don't have any space to be entitled. What's up, everybody? It's your girl B Octavia, and I am back with another video. Welcome to my channel, or back to my channel. I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm a mother of one, entrepreneur, among other things, but we done with the intro. Let's jump right into the video because I have a lot to get off my chest. This will be very informative to a lot of young people that are signing up for jobs that they are not qualified for. That's number one. The youth and people in general, just signing up for jobs, lying about having certain qualifications, and having a very short temper, right? And y'all know me, I always go against the grain, but this is how I really feel. Today we will be speaking on the FedEx worker that blew up on some customers, some recipients of packages, for a reason that was her fault. I'm sure y'all have all seen the video of the young girl who is a FedEx driver who was supposed to be dropping off packages at the front door. Okay, I guess she got into a little struggle with the package and it was too heavy for her at that point. We don't know what happened before they started rolling the camera, but what I think happened is she got the package off of the truck very roughly. The recipients of this package saw that and came outside. Whether they are recording or not, the customer is always right. And what the customer sees in the account that they give to the company, whether it's on video or it's not, the customer is always right. All right? That's what any company would tell you in training, And there are ways to avoid not having situations like this happen. Don't apply for the job at all. Okay? So I feel like she was getting it off rough based on when the camera started rolling and how she just let the package hit the floor. Anything could have been in there. It could have been a very fragile table, anything, glass. And she had the gurney laying on the street so I'm just confused, why are you not using the damn gurney? After a few words, she says something along the lines of, y'all are watching me do this when y'all could help you do your job. Help you do a job that you signed up for. They came outside for a reason. And I would come outside if I heard something slamming real hard on the ground and things. I peek outside being nosy, not knowing if it was my package or not. I don't fault them for coming outside. Well, after a brief exchange of words, this young girl is getting back in the car, and the last few things that she says is along the lines of, go back to your country. I really can't stand when people say that. Growing up hearing stuff like that, I didn't really see how damaging it would be. I thought of it in the most simple way. But when you say go back to your country to a Spanish person, are we telling them to go back to Mexico or any other place in which they originate from? What if they were born in the U.S.? You can't say that to every single person, right? And something I thought of hearing it from her was, I mean, if they was living in Mexico or what have you, that's none of any of our business. But are we telling them to go back to where the cartel is and where they just ride around 10, 15 guys deep with these, machine guns and holding up families and, terrorizing people? Why would I tell them to go back there? It's like, it's one of those insults that, I mean, any other thing I would think to say other than that, being as though we've seen how hard, we cannot deny how hard Spanish people work. We cannot deny, that they have had hardships just like us. It's not fair to say that. It's really not fair to say that. Even when I had a little situation, at a former job of mine, and I got into it with a Spanish person, that's not nothing I said. You know what I mean? That's not like to automatically think that when looking at a person. But if the police racially profile us as black people, they're so wrong for that. But then in turn, we're doing it to people that work just as hard, if not more. I'm not going to be fake. I would never even think to say anything like that, especially knowing that you're being recorded. Oh, I mean, that girl really screams self-entitlement. And something that you have to know going out into the workforce and workplace and different companies that you want to be hired by. You got to know that you have to follow their rules. You don't have any space to be entitled and to handle things exactly how you want to, how you would on any other day if you're off. You can't handle it like that because you will get fired. I knew from the minute that I saw that video that she was going to get fired. Yes. While everybody else was like, she stood her ground, she stood her ground. She stood her ground wearing a FedEx uniform. Driving a FedEx truck. If it was a truck with her company logo and she was under her own business, that's something else. Maybe she'll lose a few customers, but she won't lose her business. When you're under a company that you applied to work for, there is no ground to stand on. There is no ground to stand on. And it's crazy that not only are people wanting a paycheck, but being nasty like this. It's like after the pandemic, people got this idea that you're going to be a boss in everything that you do. You can be a boss and a CEO of your own business, but be humble and know that you have to acquire money, put in those applications to work for other companies in order to get a check to put towards your business. The goal is for your business to take off, but what are you going to do before that? What are you going to do while working towards that? You're going to keep getting fired for having or trying to have this self-entitled boss mentality. But right now, from 9 to 5, you're a worker. You got to keep that shit on the hush-hush when you're a worker. And you're being watched. Whether the actual recipients of that package saw that, or a neighbor saw that, or the damn Ring doorbell saw that, You're God. You're God. You cannot have an attitude like that. It's no reason to. You riding around. I think ain't them the truck. Well, I think those trucks close up. Maybe I'm wrong with when the door is always open or some shit like that. But I don't know. But my thing is, you have a job. This is a pure example of bringing whatever negative vibe happened, you know, either this morning before you came to work or the weekend before you worked or whatever in traffic pissed you off. You bringing that into work after you clock in. You done rode around a little bit. You looking at the clear blue skies and everything like that, and you still mad. Well, be mad and unemployed. I knew she was going to get fired. I would tell anybody, be prepared. You are going to get fired. Whether they call you on the damn phone or they call you into the office, you are going to get fired. Damn. I mean, you on candid camera. You are on candid camera. It's time to be fake and say, I'm sorry. And don't say it like I just said it. You know, say it like you fake mean it. Like it slipped out your hand or something. But it probably didn't look like that because she really had attitude. I'm trying to give Cuz the benefit of the doubt, but I can't. I can't with nothing like that. You can't speak that way. People said that type of thing like years ago, early 2000s. Nothing would happen. You know, it'll just be an argument. But that type of stuff is getting broadcasted for all to see. You don't think FedEx is embarrassed? You slipped through the cracks this time. And I made a comment under, because you know how people repost it. So I made a comment under a YouTube channel. And I was basically saying that I knew she would get fired. It's a way to handle things, etc. And I made a comment along the lines of, if the packages was too heavy for her, I've seen two people be in one vehicle before. You know, but of course people are like, no, that's illegal or they don't do it like that or what have you. I still see people to this day, two people in that motherfucker. It might be different companies or what have you, but still. So that was their excuse on that. They was having her back. Well, my response was, she needs to get her weight up then. Because I've seen an application to be a delivery person and to handle packages. And you gotta be able to at least lift 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 pounds. And you got the gurney for help. They've told you, you know, certain ways to do it. Lift with your legs and not your back or however that shit work. It's no excuse for her to act like that when she signed up for the job. Makes no sense at all to me. And it's really no way to rationalize ignorance. If we literally came from somewhere else, people say all of us come from Africa. And most people, or a lot of people, believe that all of us do come from Africa. So if a Caucasian person was to tell us, any one of us, go back to your country, how the fuck do you think we would feel? How would you think we would feel? Or let's just say they say that to us right now, and maybe our ancestors way along down the lines in the BCs was from Africa. And they tell us to go back to Africa. Well, damn, I'm born in North America, the USA. I'm born there. Okay, my folks way down the line was born in Africa, but I don't have to go back to Africa because they was from there. You feel what I'm saying? So damn, I would take that offensive. I wouldn't like if anybody said that to me. I just would not like that. So you gotta, my thing is, you can't be saying stuff that if somebody said to you, you would really think about that shit for months. That shit would make you so mad, just like she mad right there. That shit would make her so mad for months. You wouldn't want nobody say that to you, or your mother, or your people. Like, not in Black History Month. We are not going to disrespect other people and act like we, our shit don't stink. Maybe her dude that is leeching off of her, he spent up all her last check and she just, whatever. But that's not our problem either. I'm glad she got fired. Any more questions? And I was surprised. I really was surprised at people's reaction to this. Stood her ground on FedEx soil. Not impressive. No kudos. She has a lot to learn. And with that type of attitude, it's going to be hard to teach her. So, hopefully she does learn from this and her elders tell her after they seen it. Because not only did the whole world see it, I hope her family saw it and grilled her about that. Because you can't feel like some type of superhero, or you can't feel heroic for what you've done, and you took money off your own plate. You took an opportunity right out of your own hand, and as a teenager, maybe you can't afford that, but you can't keep doing it. That's one thing about it. Teenagers can afford to fuck up a little bit, but you can't keep doing that. Because you won't have nothing. You're going to end up on the street, and people going to be saying way worse things to you. Hopefully people recognize her in the street and be like, girl, you was wrong for that. Like, yeah. Because that's just embarrassing. You get no kudos, mama. I don't like that. If that was my child, I would be so embarrassed. Like, for real. I would be so embarrassed. And my child would not hear the end of it. Every single day. We talking about that. And you going to tell me exactly what you learned every day. Let's get it. Because I need to know that this is sticking the way that it should. Okay? You could get back on social media and tell us that you fired. But tell us that you then learned your lesson. And you understand what you did wrong. Okay? We need to hear more of that in today's time from our youth, because they don't explain enough. They explain what we don't want to know. They explain what we don't care about. But they don't explain what really needs to be explained. That's what gets me. Tell me you learned and tell me what you learned. Because that is just, one word for it is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Without further ado, I'm going to get on out of here. It's your girl, B. Octavia, and I will see y'all in my next video.